Today, over 30 million Americans claim Irish ancestry, approximately 10% of total United States population. Halloween and Patrick's Day is one of the biggest celebrations in the country, a tribute to how far the Irish have come, from struggling immigrants to proud, successful Americans. Irish immigrants played a huge role in shaping the United States, contributing in many areas such as labor, politics, culture, and public service.
The journey of Irish Americans began in the early 19th century, due to the Great Famine of 1840s pushed over millions of Irish men and women to leave their homeland and sail across the Atlantic to America. They arrived with dreams of opportunity, but instead they were met with harsh realities. Ireland, 1845. A land of rolling green hills, hard-working families, and a single staple that fed millions, the potato. But in the blink of an eye, disaster struck. A silent killer, an invisible blight, turned golden fields to rot. The people called it Angorta Mór, the Great Hunger. What followed was one of the darkest chapters in Irish history, and the birth of a new chapter in America. Over 1 million souls perished. But for those who survived, there was only one hope: escape. The coffin ships, packed beyond capacity, rife with disease, the voyage across the Atlantic was often a death sentence. But for those who made it, a new world awaited: America. Ellis Island was more than an entry point. It was the birthplace of the Irish-American dream, a place where courage met opportunity. And from those humble beginnings, they forged a legacy that still shapes America today. The Irish, who fled famine, oppression, and hardship, it was a beacon of hope across the Atlantic. Between 1892 and 1954, over 12 million people passed through these halls. And, among them, the Irish stood as one of the largest groups. Their journey? Long. Their future? Uncertain. Their dream? A fresh start. But stepping onto Ellis Island was only the beginning. Every immigrant faced a series of tests: health inspections, legal screenings. A single mark of chalk on a coat could mean deportation. Families feared separation. But the Irish, resilient, determined, pressed forward. For those who passed, America awaited. Many found themselves in the crowded tenements of New York, Boston, and Chicago. The work was grueling: factories, docks, construction sites, but the Irish were no strangers to hardship. Many early Irish immigrants were of Scottish or English descent and came from the northern province of Ulster. Pushed out of Ireland by religious conflicts, lack of political autonomy, and dire economic conditions, these immigrants, who were often called Scotch-Irish, were pulled to America by the promise of land ownership and greater religious freedom.
Irish Americans served in large numbers during the Civil War, with many fighting in the Union Army. The Fighting 69th Irish Brigade became one of the most famous military units in U.S. history. Irish immigrants fought for better wages, safer working conditions, and workers' rights in the 19th and 20th centuries. Leaders like Mother Jones were key figures in the American labor movement. Many Irish immigrants and their descendants became successful entrepreneurs. Irish immigrants played a major role in building Catholic churches, schools, and charities, especially in cities like New York, Boston, and Chicago. They helped establish Notre Dame University, one of America's most famous Catholic institutions. Many Irish immigrant women worked as domestic servants, teachers, and nurses, helping to shape American education and health care. They played a key role in raising future generations of Americans. Despite facing discrimination with signs reading "No Irish Need Apply," were posted outside factories. The Irish were seen as dirty, unwanted second-class citizens. Yet, through grit and determination, they carved their place in this new land. Many Scotch-Irish immigrants were educated, skilled workers, Even those who financed their emigration by becoming indentured servants were well equipped to lead successful, independent lives when their period of servitude ended. Irish immigrants were instrumental in constructing railroads, bridges, and canals, including the Transcontinental Railroad and the Erie Canal, the foundations of modern America. They often took on dangerous jobs in coal mines, steel mills, and construction, helping to develop major cities. They became the backbone of cities like Boston, New York, and Chicago. Over time, they rose from laborers to leaders, from the shadows to the White House itself. Because Irish immigrants faced discrimination and were often excluded from many jobs, they became firefighters and police officers, leading to the formation of many of the country's first organized police and fire departments. Soon they rose, from the working class to positions of power. They fought for workers' rights, led political movements.
Even today, Irish culture and traditions in America is deeply connected to these Irish professions. Irish immigrants brought traditional music and dance, influencing genres like bluegrass, folk, and country. Irish immigrants brought traditional jigs and reels, which heavily influenced bluegrass, country, and folk music. Tap dancing even has roots in Irish step dancing. St. Patrick's Day is celebrated on March 17th each year in honor of St. Patrick, the patron saint of Ireland. It began as a religious feast day but has evolved into a global celebration of Irish culture. St. Patrick's Day is the most widely recognized celebration of Irish heritage in America, but it's more than just parades and green beer. It's a day of pride, family, and honoring Irish roots. Halloween evolved from the Irish Samhain festival brought to America by Irish immigrants. Halloween is one of America's most beloved holidays, filled with costumes, candy, and spooky fun. But did you know that Halloween has deep roots in Irish traditions? Halloween traces back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, celebrated in Ireland over 2,000 years ago. Samhain marked the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter, a time when the veil between the living and the dead was believed to be at its thinnest. When Irish immigrants came to America in the 19th century, they brought these traditions with them, blending them with new customs and helping shape the modern Halloween we know today. In Ireland, people originally carved faces into turnips or potatoes to ward off spirits, but in America, pumpkins were larger and easier to carve, giving birth to the classic jack-o'-lantern tradition. The idea of dressing up and going door to door for treats comes from an old Irish and Scottish practice called mumming or souling, where people performed songs or prayers in exchange for food. Many Irish Americans keep their heritage alive by making traditional foods like barmbrack, a special Halloween bread with hidden charms inside. Each charm predicts the finder's future. Will they have wealth, love, or even a bit of bad luck?
There have been many famous Irish Americans who have made significant contributions to politics, entertainment, sports, and more. John F. Kennedy, the first Irish Catholic U.S. president, symbolizing hope and progress for Irish Americans. Joe Biden, the second Irish Catholic president with family ties to County Mayo and County Louth. Ronald Reagan, another U.S. president of Irish descent, proud of his heritage. Tip O'Neill, a legendary Speaker of the House with deep Irish roots and a commitment to working-class America. Marilyn Monroe, the Hollywood icon's mother, had Irish ancestry. John Wayne, born Marion Morrison, the legendary Western star, had strong Irish roots. Maureen O'Hara, the fiery Irish-born actress, best known for The Quiet Man. Robert De Niro. While famous for his Italian heritage, he also has Irish ancestry. Tom Cruise, his great-grandfather immigrated from Ireland. Meryl Streep, one of Hollywood's greatest actresses with Irish lineage. Henry Ford, the automotive pioneer whose father hailed from County Cork. William Randolph Hearst, the newspaper tycoon who revolutionized American media. Derek Jeter, the baseball icon's mother, has Irish ancestry. From politics and literature to entertainment and sports, the influence of Irish Americans runs deep. Their achievements continue to shape and inspire generations. The hard work, resilience, and spirit of Irish immigrants helped shape America into what it is today. Their contributions continue to influence the country in politics, labor, culture, and public service. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more history content. Let us know in the comments which part of German American history you found most interesting. See you in the next one.